So now we're going to get into some geometric proofs. So now we're going to use some of the geometric reasons that we've learned recently to go on ahead and work these down from a given statement and work down to something that we're proving. So let's take a look at what that might look like. Here we have a picture and they give us the given statement. Okay, so given angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So let's go ahead and draw that. Angle 1 and angle 3 I know are going to be congruent. Okay, it tells me that. All right, but I can go down a little bit further because I know the definition of vertical angles. Okay, so vertical angles tells me that angle 1 is also congruent to angle 4. Okay, so angle 1 is congruent, not equal to, congruent to angle 4 by vertical angles. Now, if I know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3 already, then I can substitute angle 3 in for angle 1 to come up with angle 3 being congruent to angle 4, which is what I'm trying to prove. So, using what I know and using what they give me, I can work these out and I can tell you that, yes, this is a true statement. Coming down to our next example, okay, again, we have a given statement. Angle 1 and angle 2 are right angles, okay, fine. Now, this next piece I know to be true by the definition of right angles, which tells me that right angles equal 90 degrees. So these two pieces right there are given to me in the definition of right angles, okay? Now, if I look at measure of angle 1 being 90 degrees, and then I replace, because measure of angle 1 is 90 and measure of angle 2 are both 90, they're both 90, I can substitute the measure of angle 2 in for this 90 because they both equal the same thing. So I can substitute, which is kind of the same as saying replace, 90 degrees with the measure of angle 2 to get measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2, which I have below. And if the measure of angle 1 equals the measure of angle 2, then I can say that they are congruent because they are the same size and they are the same shape. So by the definition of congruency, I can say that the measure of angle 1 is congruent to the measure of angle 2. Over here on the top right, okay, I've got another given statement. Wx equals xy, okay, working my way down below. If I use the segment addition postulate, okay, or SAP, which is what I'll use going forward, I know that Wx plus xy equals wy. Okay, so that's where this second step comes in. I can go on ahead and make that statement. That's not a problem at all. Okay, and using substitution after my given statement, I can replace Wx with xy. So I can use substitution here to replace Wx with xy. And then if I combine like terms or add, I get 2xy, which even though it's in a different order, is the same as what I'm trying to prove. Coming down here to my final example, okay, a lot of things going on, so take it slow. We've got our given statement, WH equals FB. Okay. The next thing I want to do, okay, is I'm going to use the addition postulate of equality. So that means I'm going to add something to both sides. Well, there's this little piece HF that I want to add to both things. So I've got WH plus HF equals FB plus HF. Okay, so this piece right here is what I use the addition postulate to get down to. All right, I added it to both sides essentially to get what I have down below. All right, so I'll go on ahead and delete that from down below. That little line, excuse me. We'll go ahead and add it right here. Okay, so that's my addition postulate of equality. Now I can use my segment addition postulate a couple times, because if I say HF, which I know is right here, HF plus FB equals HB, okay, and I'm actually going to go down below, equals HB, that's my segment addition postulate, all right? I can also use the segment addition postulate to say that HF plus WH equals WF. So I can say right here, WH plus HF equals WF. And then with substitution, all right, let's take a look at this. I can say I know that WF equals FB plus HF, okay? Essentially what I'm substituting here is I'm taking away WH plus HF and replaced it with WF, okay? And then if I utilize FB plus HB, that can replace to go down to HB using another substitution. Sorry, I got a little lost there. But essentially, I'm taking those pieces that I know to be true, and I'm replacing WH with HF, and I'm actually, I should delete this, it's not here. I'm taking this piece, and I'm substituting it here using this information. And I use this information to help my substitution here. Okay, so we got a lot of substitution on, some segment addition postulate going on. Ultimately, I know that there's a lot going on, but if you take it slow, you can use your list of reasons to help you identify what do I need to do next. So you have all of these things going on. What can I look at? What can I do? How can I get creative in order to help myself solve it? And then all you got to do is if you use something, you say what you used on the right-hand side.